All right, we're recording. Awesome. So this is not a sit back and watch kind of Zoom. I want you guys to interact. I want you guys to ask questions, but I also want you guys to get work done. The whole time I'm doing this, as I'm showing you things, I'm going to be working as well. And so I want you to be applying the tips as we go to try to get some stuff set up. So make sure you have a pen and paper because you are going to want to write some of this down. I've got some questions for you to write out and answer. And all of this is going to be tools to help you start writing your own content. So the first aspect we're going to start talking about is our business and lifestyle posts. To me, these are our most important posts. Like, it's great talking about the product, it's great having stuff in our stories, but we want people to know us because we can have the best product post and story post, but if no one actually feels like they know us, they're not going to want to order from us because there is not that trust. So it's so important to be putting up good business and lifestyle posts. And then if you're working Instagram, personally, the way I do Instagram is the only thing I post on my feed is lifestyle posts. So then it's crucial because it's the only thing I'm putting up on there, right? So first and foremost, when it comes to good business and lifestyle posts, is your photo. It is so important to have a high quality photo when it comes to making your own posts. So a couple of tips about taking pictures. One, go on Pinterest or go to Instagram, like the Discover tab. Go look through there and then save ideas. Save top leaders, pictures. And then on Pinterest, you can search lifestyle and blogger photos because you want to have ideas. If you just are trying this out, guys, you're not going to have the brain cell for these incredible, lifestyle style photos. I did it when I got started. Go scroll all the way back and you'll be like, oh my gosh, these are some rough looking photos. Like, it's pretty bad. But I learned as I went what gets more attention, what gets attraction, what's more eye-catching. And a lot of that is because I did the research. I was looking at top leaders and then I was saving their posts, not because I was going to take what they said, because I'm like, this is a good photo. So on Facebook, we're going to see, hopefully I can do this from my phone because I'm a little special sometimes. If I find a post I like, I'm going through my own page, but so say I want, like, oh my goodness, this is an awesome photo. I would click the three dots at the top and I would hit save post. Now here you can create collections. So you can use this for all of the other stuff as well, but I have a special collection right here that is photo ideas. So I would click it there. So then when I'm out and about and I'm like, okay, I haven't gotten any good pictures this week, I'm going to go pull out my phone. I'm going to go look at some ideas and be like, okay, I'm at the beach today. This photo was taken at the beach. How can I make my own version of this? And that's how I'm getting my photos. It's really important to take one day a week at least and do your own photo shoot. So before, what I was doing is I would literally like put my makeup on for church on Sundays, and I would go in my bathroom or my office at my apartment because that's where the best lighting was, and I would just take a bunch of selfies. The typical selfies I would always take, something smiling, some space to the side with pointing up, and I always do pointing down, pointing at the camera, holding up a product, but that allows me because I can use the Over app and I can insert something, an enrollment, a pay stub, whatever it is, I can insert it into the photo already and it looks like, I was ready for it. So those are a couple of the selfie ideas I typically take. Now I have my husband take a lot of my photos. It's been a process of trying to train him of what to do. But if you don't have a husband, don't worry. Or if you don't have someone to take your pictures, you can do it on your own too. There's all kinds of tripods you can get, or just prop your phone up. I've got some really cool photos of me working, and I'll just take my phone and like sit it, like get like 30 bowls or some weird something and build a contraption that'll hold my phone up, and then either record it or set a timer. Because if you record it, you can like move around and all that and go through the recording frame by frame and screenshot the best photos. So that's typically what I'll do there. Then lighting is so important. If you don't have good lighting in your photo, it's not eye-catching. So if you're taking a photo, you want the sun in your face. So if you're inside, where in your house do you have the best light? So like, for example, the lighting right here is not that great because I have the sun behind me trying to block it out. But if I was going to take a picture, I'll just open up the blinds and turn around, because then all of the sun is on my face, which then makes me look glowing. It makes me look brighter, and it's just a better photo. So find that spot in your house, or if you've got to go outside, or when you're out and you're taking a photo, find the lighting, and that's what you want on your face to get the brightest, clearest, most engaging and eye-catching photo. Another thing you can do that I personally swear by it. My Instagram went from having like 10 likes to 40 likes instantly when I figured this out. But if you go on Etsy, you can get Lightroom presets. So it's like $5. I paid $5 and I got 5 presets. So for example, well, the preset looks like this. I just copy it. And let's see, what photo do I want to do? This one will probably be good. So I go to my photo and paste it. Okay, this one's a little orange, but ta-da! Versus, like, it doesn't completely change my photo. It just makes it more eye-catching. It makes someone want to look at it. It's a little pop. And it's so simple. I mean, it took me, what, 10 seconds? And it was literally $5 for 5 presets. So I don't have to do any work. I just copy and paste it. Boom, we're set. Super easy. So that I use for all of my photos. I think that is an amazing tool. But if you don't have the $5 to spend, there's other ways to do it. I used to go on Instagram. I'd upload all of my photos to Instagram before I post them. I would edit them with the Instagram edits that you can do, that stuff. And then I would just screenshot the picture and crop out the top and bottom, where it like you click on the picture and make it big, and you crop the top and bottom, and boom, your photo's edited for free. You didn't have to pay the $5 for the presets. So there's total ways around it, but you've got to make sure you have good quality photos. That is what is going to set you apart from the people who are successful to not successful. Is the quality of your photos matters so much. You could join today, but if you have really good photos, people are like, oh my gosh, she's a professional. Now, if your photos aren't, I don't care if you've been in 12 years, you're still going to look like an amateur. And so we want to convey the idea that we are professionals in this industry, and a great way to do that is through our photography. The next part of a business post is the wording. So hopefully you guys all have your pen and paper out. So I want you to write down 2 questions. 1, what have you done? And then 2, what are you going to do? So now think about these while we're on here. Jot down some notes beside them, or just focus on that when we get off. But what have you done with this business? Okay, so you just completed your first month. Did you earn your shopping spree? You know, you paid whatever the starter price that you joined for. You got all of this free product, and oh my gosh, you just got another $100 worth of free product. You did something. Did you sign your first customer? Like, what have you done? Have you been in and you've just promoted Diamond and got a $10,000 bonus? Like, what have you done? And make a list. Make a list of everything you can think of that you've done with this business. Success, big from small. And it doesn't have to be just solely focused on the business, but what the business has allowed you to do. Do you go to the gas station and pump gas without thinking? Have you filled your car up for the first time in forever? Because I know that struggle. I know the struggle of, I got to put $10 in because that is all I have, and pray and pray and pray that $10 will last me to payday, so I put another $10 in. I know how it is. But remember the first time you were able to fill your car up? Like, that was insane, right? Well, that's something you've done. And I don't care what level you are. You know, I'm double diamond. I've been in for almost a year. I can still talk about the first time I filled up my gas tank, because it's so exciting to have money and be like, oh my gosh, we earned $25,000 in bonuses. And all of that is so great. And I know starting out, you feel you don't have a story. You can't make your own post because you don't have that success. But guys, that success is unrelatable. That kind of success, that big, flashy, where you want to go success, is unrelatable. People aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, they got $25,000 in bonuses. I could do that. They're not going to think that. Very few people are going to think that. But oh my gosh, she just paid for groceries in cash. She just filled up her car when she hadn't ever been able to do that before. That's what people can connect with. So when you're starting out, you have an upper hand because you can connect on a level people understand. Once you get farther in, it makes it more difficult, in a sense, to be able to connect like that. So what has this business done for you? What successes have you had? What has it done? And then what has it done for your growth? Who were you when you joined versus are you now? I joined and I was depressed. I was stressed. I felt worthless. I felt like no matter how hard I worked, I wasn't enough. I was a newlywed. I was the one working. My husband was still in school. So I worked 40 hours a week, commuted 3 hours a day, but then I had to be a good wife, take care of the house, the food, the cleaning, all of that. I barely slept. Woke up, weekend, got here, had to catch up on everything. And then before I knew it, it was Monday morning and I was in the same rut. I was so depressed. I was like, I know there's more out there for me and I don't understand why I can't find it. Versus now, I am empowered. I went from depressed to empowered, and I get to live every day empowering other people. That's a growth of what this business has done for me. And that stuff starts changing instantly. I didn't know how to dream. I grew up, some of you guys know my story, I grew up in extreme poverty. We lost cars, houses, everything. We went to the food kitchen instead of a grocery store. We never went on vacation. I was that kid the school sponsored so they had Christmas. Like, I had nothing growing up. And so the concept of dreaming was lost on me. Like, how do you come from nothing and be like, yeah, I'm going to dream of a life where I make $10,000 a month? You can't. You physically can't. Within the first month, I was learning how to dream again. I was learning how to allow myself to hope and want more and not be scared that I wasn't going to be good enough, not be scared that one day I'd get it and lose it the way everything else in my life had been. And I learned how to dream. That's a difference. That's a growth from before to after. Now, these are different things that people can connect with. These are things that you want to center your post around. The second question was, what are you going to do? Maybe you joined and you haven't had success yet. Well, when are you? Because you're not going to join to sit on your hands. You're going to join with the intention to be successful. So talk about that success that is in the future as if it's tomorrow. I joined when we had rank up bonuses for every rank. I joined at the end of July, and I was instantly talking about how I was earning $1,000 Ruby bonus the next month. I was like, I'm getting $1,000 bonus, guys, on top of $500 monthly. Like, in my first month, I'm going to do this. This is where I'm going. Do you want to go with me? Like, come on, this is what is happening. I was talking about it to everyone. I'm about to earn $1,000 bonus. Did I know if I was going to earn the $1,000 bonus? Heck to the no. I was working for it, but you don't know it. You don't know. It's not guaranteed, but I knew if I worked hard enough and I looked hard enough at that top goal, and if I could get loud, even if I missed it, people saw the attempt. People saw that I had direction, and they would appreciate that. I did hit it that month. The next month, I got loud. I was going Emerald. I was getting the $5,000 bonus, and I was loud about it. I was telling everyone about it, and I missed it. I did not promote. I actually lost my Ruby promotion, went from making $500 monthly to like $100. Just lost my job. It's awful. But I was loud about it, and people saw that. They saw that I had direction. And then the next month, I was loud because I was getting that $5,000 Emerald bonus again. I was still going. And then when people saw me hit it, even though it took me those 2 months, I had credibility and I had respect. So where are you going? Are you pushing for your $100 shopping spree? Are you pushing for Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Double Diamond? Are you pushing for a paycheck? I'm going to make $10,000 monthly. That's my new goal. I'm pushing for that by the end of July. I'm going to be loud about it. I'm going to make $10,000 monthly. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. One quote that really stood out for me, I heard on a Zoom with Casey Brookover, is I know that I know that I know that I'm going to do it. You don't have to know how, why, where, how the heck it's going to happen. You just have to know that you know that you know that you're going to make it happen. And then talk like you know that you know that you know it's going to happen. Put it out there and don't hold back, because people are going to catch on to that. No one wants to follow someone who has no vision. No one wants to follow anyone who has no direction. So where are you going? Talk about it. Now make a list. We're going to make 3 lists. So make sure we still got our paper. Your first list, you're going to write 5 things that you would do if I gave you $100. What are 5 different things you would go spend $100 on at this moment? Okay? And then when you finish that, you're going to make a list of 5 things you would do if I gave you $500. What's 5 things you would spend $500 on? And then you're going to make a list of 5 things that you would spend $1,000 on. If I gave you $1,000, what are 5 different things that you would want to put $1,000 on? Okay, so these are also important. This is a huge range. You know, $100, I'm going to go fill up my gas tank. I'm going to go buy groceries. I may pay my power bill, my water bill. I may pay my phone bill. I may go get my kids something that they need. I may pay for dance lessons. $500. I may pay my car payment. You know, my kids really wanted to go to this camp and it's expensive, but you know what? If I had $500, my kid would go to this camp. You know, I would hire someone to clean my house if I had $500. All right, and then $1,000, I would pay rent. I would pay off debt. I would save. I would pay for our vacation in cash. Like, what would you do? Now, what we are going to do with this list of 15 things, wow, I should not have had to think that hard about that. But what we're going to do with this list of 15 things, you just made 15 posts. On top of our first 2 questions, you just made 15 posts. Now, well, how do we turn this list of 5 things, you know, for each section into a post? You have to take the thing and tie it to an emotion. People love for you to tell them facts, to tell you, oh, our keto coffee will help you lose this amount of weight. Oh, this business will help you make X amount of money. But people only connect so much with a fact. When you can tie it to an emotion, that's where you're going to find that connection and build that relationship. For example, say you, for $500, I'd hire someone to clean my house. Now, what does that mean for you? What does that do for you? You know, well, now I won't be as stressed. I can spend more time with my family instead of worrying about keeping everything else up. I can prioritize my kids. I can prioritize my business. I can do X, Y, Z because now I don't have the stress of taking care of my house. So now how do you turn the emotion and the thing into a post? So now we say, I'm doing this all off the top of my head, so give me a second to think it through. Like, oh my gosh, guys, how awesome would it be if you could have someone come clean your house? I don't know about you, but this is the most dreaded thing to me. I just hate cleaning. Guys, we have positions open to make $500 monthly. What would that do? Would that allow someone to come clean your house? And then what would that do? Would that allow you to free up all this time? And try to connect it back to emotion. That was a really bad post idea, so don't use that one. But I was thinking about groceries. That one's a lot easier. The one I tried was really hard, guys. I don't know why I went there. But okay, so $100 for groceries, right? So you could say something about take a picture of you and a receipt at Walmart, or you and your buggy at Walmart with stuff in it, or you holding up something at Walmart or wherever you shop for groceries. I just go to Walmart. And be like, oh my goodness, thanks to this business, I no longer have to stress about how do I make a $20 grocery budget work for 2 weeks. That was where we were. I had $20 every 2 weeks to spend on groceries, and it definitely wasn't enough. We were not eating lunch or breakfast. We were just eating dinner. My family was coming, like every time we went to see my parents, they would have groceries sitting out they'd give us. And that's where this business found me. So $100 for groceries was life-changing. And I know I'm not the only one. So if I can be like, oh my goodness, thanks to this business, I can buy this, no stress. I don't have to worry about where the money is coming for this. People connect. And then so a couple of topic ideas to kind of go back to when you can't think of what you want to post. One, God or personal development. This is great because we are in a business that is just personal development with a comp plan attached. So what are you learning? You know, if you're Christian and faith and all of that, what is God showing you right now? What Bible verse did you read? What passage did you read? And what are you learning? You know, people love that. What are you reading? I'll take my book and I'll take it to the beach with me, and I'll take a cute picture of it in my lap, and then I'll put a quote at the top, and then skip 2 lines, and then write something that the quote taught me or made me think or feel. People then see the book. It's a good picture. They're like, oh, she's reading at the beach. I love to read at the beach or on the couch or in bed, you know. And then they see the quote. It's an eye-catching quote, and then your thoughts. You know, that people are getting to know you. They're getting to know how you think, the way you act, what makes you tick, the way you see the world, and then they're seeing how they connect with you. Another thing to post about is common objections. Guys, we all joined in spite of the common objections. There's not a single one of us who joined and had like no fear, no care, like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. If you did, like, there was no seriousness, and then when you got serious, then you faced the common objection. There's some objection you had to get past. For me, I joined another network marketing company like 7 months before, paid $400 to join, worked my tush off, and never saw anything. I had top leaders in that company reaching out like, oh my gosh, you worked so hard, you're gonna go so far. Never saw anything. So when this opportunity came, I was like, well, network marketing doesn't work. Like, I just wasted all of my money and time working so hard. It doesn't work. So I had that fear, and I had to face that fear to then join this company and be successful. So that's a fear I can address. Time. I was working full-time, new wife, commuting 3 hours a day. I wasn't sure I had time. So that's something that I can address in a post. Your office today, freedom, are also really good ones. Take a picture anytime that you're in any cool location. You're at the beach, you're in the car, you're at the park, you're at the school, you're at a restaurant. Take the photos. You don't have to, just because you took the picture today, it doesn't mean you have to make the post today. But if tomorrow you're like, oh, dang, what should I post today? You can be like, well, I took a picture at lunch yesterday. So today I'll make a post about how I love the freedom to work from anywhere, even a place like this. Boom. Another one, I like to every Monday, I think it's so important to every Monday make some kind of freedom post, because so many people hate Mondays. So Monday morning, I do this full time now. So Monday morning, I typically make a post about how I love sleeping in on Mondays, or something like that. Or I wait to make my post until like 9 or 10 instead of 8. And say something about getting a late start. Like I posted the other day, a late start to the day because someone wanted cuddles. I posted a picture of me and my dog. And people love that. People can connect to that because people don't like to go to work on Monday. So when you can touch that emotion of they don't want to work on Monday, let me show them what I'm doing for work on Monday. Even if you are still working a full-time job. I was working a full-time job when I got started, and I was still incorporating freedom. You know, I would post a picture. I was a nanny and I took the kids to lunch. I'd post a picture at lunch. I love how I get to work from anywhere like this. Or the kids had to go to the park. Oh, post a picture of the park. I love the freedom of working outside. No one knows that I'm there working my regular job as well. But it shows the freedom of opportunity. And most importantly, you want to make sure you're relatable. Like I said before, $20,000 bonuses are great. $10,000 monthly is great. Ambassador Diamond is great. But people can't really relate to that the same way they can as the simple stuff. So take a picture of the receipt next time you go out to eat. Thanks, it works for picking up the tab. You know, buy a new outfit and hold up like the bags and like, thanks, it works for letting me spoil myself or something of the sort. Okay, so before we move on to product post, I'm going to unmute Sarah. Sarah, would you mind turning your camera on? And she's going to share a couple of tips. She is amazing at business posts. So I'm going to unmute you. You should be unmuted.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, that was so awesome. I was over here getting teary-eyed a little bit with your story. Okay, so my biggest tips that I would say, I actually wrote down 3 questions as well that were really important that I thought of when thinking about this. Who are you? every single one of us has something special about us. And you have to, I feel like you absolutely have to believe in that. Every single person has something different to offer. And so when I feel like it comes to building your team, building your business, doing business posts, your tribe, finding and attracting your tribe. Because like for me, for my business, I want to attract my tribe of people because that's where I'm going to thrive the best and who I can help the best. So I try to make my post specific towards certain things. So one of the biggest things for me, talking about mental illness, depression, anxiety. So I want to attract people who are been in that situation, are struggling with that this opportunity is going to not only help them financially, but help them mentally, help them grow. So one thing I wrote down that I just love that speaks to me is invest. Like the value of what you're doing of this company is priceless. Have that enthusiasm as to where what you're doing, where you're going, what this is doing for your life, for your family is priceless. That you wouldn't even put a price tag on it because it's so amazing. And I feel like bringing that passion makes all the difference. So who are you? Find that out. That's like the biggest question that's hard for most of us to find out. So if you don't know who you are, think about things that speak to your soul. I wrote down different things like, are you a person who loves to swim? Do you love shopping? Like, what is your thing? And then try to make your page like about that. So that's kind of like the personal branding. Try to incorporate that at least once a day so people will look forward to that. And that's how you attract your tribe. So like in the morning on my story, I do one affirmation every morning. So I know that people are looking forward to that affirmation. That ties into helping with mental illness. So it's more of how can I incorporate this company into who I am, and people will see that, and then they will be attracted. Not so much like, hey, look at this great company, and that's the kind of end of it. And a great example I want to share with you guys is actually I had several girls on my Facebook for a couple years that sold It Works, that did It Works. 4 different types of people. And I want to share the difference between all of them. The first one, she was a nurse, worked full-time nurse, and she ended up having a baby. So she did her lifestyle post as I'm a mother, look at the wrap, I just lost my baby weight. Or when she was still working, guys, she would post her selfies at work with her coffee. I think that's another key thing too for business. Like if you're in a cubicle or retail, like whatever your job is, take some of your like uniform pics now. So when you get to where you're going, you can be like, bye, Felicia, I don't miss those days. You know what I mean? So take advantage of your situation. But she was a nurse, so that was her lifestyle. I had Mariah on my Facebook. Mariah was speaking about where she came from. She came from poverty. She came from a struggle. She came from suffering with depression. That spoke to me. I had another girl on my Facebook. She did the way she did hers was she was very flashy about it. Everything was pretty and perfect. And this is where this is where you're going, but I couldn't relate to anything. I didn't feel a connection. The other girl, she was her post, like Mariah was saying, you need to get to the details of things. She would just be kind of basic, like, hey, I just got 500 for my car. Well, I feel like details are important. Hey, I really wanted this 2000 something something. I used to drive this. Like, I'm so excited. I can't believe this. So I really feel like the details matter, because people at the end of the day, what made you join? Who were you watching? What inspired you? And between those 4 girls, for me, it was Mariah, because I was like, this is her story. There was nothing wrong with the other ones. It was simply, this is how I'm attracting to my tribe. So what speaks to you? Who are the people you want to be a part? Who, when you think about what made you want to join this, would you love to have by your side to go with you? And I think one good thing too, always keep a notebook with you. And I feel like, I don't know, I get these random like inspirations throughout the day where you think of something really good and you're just like, oh yeah, write it down. Like write it down when you have it. Not, you don't have to post it then, but just write it down. Had one more thing. Yeah, so like, what are you obsessed with? Like, what you were living your best life. And when I say best life, I don't mean having all the flash and riches. And I mean, what does that time and freedom really, really mean to you? Like Mariah said about the depression and anxiety, I used to go into work and have freaking panic attacks, and I'd be so embarrassed because I was a hard worker, but it was like, I'm an introverted person. So this was like perfect for me. I was able to do my health and work from home and have a great income. Like, come on, it's exciting. Who wants to come along? So be so excited and invest like it's priceless as to what this is doing for your life. It's good to have goals and look at where you're going, but at the same time, just pour into it as if this really is life changing for you. And I feel like people will really see that. So that's my tips for business posts, and also consistency, because like when I first started posting, I got maybe like no likes or one like. Now I'm starting to get more likes, but it's because people are watching you and they want to see. Even don't be afraid to fail or look stupid as well. Like even in your lives, if you're going live and you say something wrong about the product, don't worry about it. Like just correct it next time. Like people want to see that you're real and what you're trying to do, and they'll respect you for that, like Mariah said. So, and be loud, be like, this is where I'm going, this is what I want, I don't care who's coming with me. And speaking it into life like that, it will happen, because as long as you put one foot in front of the other, there's no possible way you can fail at what you're doing. So show that, embrace that, don't be afraid, just be completely you, be you, speak to you, love yourself, and people will see that. So
Yes,
that's my
that was
biggest tip.
so good.
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Cool. So then we're going to move on real quick to product post. I don't have as much to talk about here. Personally, the way I do my product post, I mostly will create top leaders post, save them, and then use that as a template to make my own post. But I think the biggest thing when it comes to writing your own posts for products is you have to actually use the products. If you're not using the products, how do you expect to write a post? Because how do you have an opinion about them? You know, in the business, you're obviously in the business, so that gives you ground to talk. But if it's a product and you haven't tried the product, it makes it so much harder to talk about it. So guys, it is so freaking important to be the product of the product, and to use your own results, which there you have to use the product to get your own results. And when you can post your own results, people connect so much more. I made a post earlier today. I got a bunch of products I had ordered. So I laid them out on my counter really pretty and took the picture, and I was like, said something about trying samples before you commit to it. And then in the comments, I put my results with the products I was sampling. Within like an hour, I already had like 6 or 7 comments of people wanting information. Now, it wasn't like some all-star photo. It literally was just the product sitting on my counter. It wasn't some all-star like message. It was literally like 3 lines of, if you want to try it before you buy it, like before you commit, like let me know. But what it was the fact that, one, they saw I had the products, so that I am using the products. I'm not just sitting here selling you something that I've never tried and I have no opinion. And then in the comments, they see my own results. So they see the products work on someone they can talk to. Like, I personally, I'm fairly small. I always have been. I lost almost 10 pounds with the coffee in 2 weeks. But with that, even, there's not like a massive difference. I was very small. I weighed like 160 and went down to like 150. And I'm really tall, so it's pretty stretched out weight. But there's not like a huge difference. And I know we get caught up with that because we think the bigger the difference, the better, you know, the interaction. If I can show someone who lost 100 pounds, everyone's going to want that. But there's still a level of credibility and authenticity that comes with sharing your own results, even if they're not on a grand scale. If I use a wrap, you can barely tell a difference. You can tell a difference. I can tell a difference, but it's not going to be the same. I had a girl on my team who used a wrap, and she was a new mom. She had a lot of like saggy skin from where she had just had a baby. And the wrap was like a miracle. I was blown away the difference one wrap made on her. It didn't make that much of a difference on me, but if I share her post, I'm only going to get so much interaction as when I'm sharing my post of, I did this. This is me. And people connect so much with that. So make sure you are taking your products. You are buying your products. You are using your products. You have an opinion about your products. And another thing, when having products, one, no one has an excuse not to have pictures, their own pictures of products, because every single one of you got products in your starter kit. The first thing you should do when that starter kit comes in is go put on makeup and take photos. Because if your face, one, if your face is in the photo with the product, you're automatically more likely to get interaction. And 2, people want to see you have the product. I took a couple pictures before we hopped on here. I just got the cleanser and toner. I've never had that before. I just tried it and I feel like I'm so shiny, but whatever. So I took and I went in my bathroom and I like put them out on the counter. And I was like, these are kind of cute. I did a picture holding it. And there's nothing super fancy about these. They're just sitting in my bathroom, you know, but it's my bathroom. And a lot of people have seen my stuff because I've been doing a lot. We just moved in, so I've done a lot of pictures and stuff, but it's my stuff. I don't have a picture pulled up, but I'm really big about taking selfies with the products as well. Like, it's automatically going to get you more interaction than just this. So use your products. And if you don't have a ton of products, reach out to your upline, especially if you're a local team. Find someone who has products, go over and do a photo shoot in their living room with their products for you to use. When Thermophyte X first came out, I didn't get it. I wanted it, but I was not financially in a place where I felt I could pay $36 and then wait 6 months to get it. Totally dramatic, guys. It wasn't that long of a wait. But realistically, I didn't see the value at the time. We weren't in a financial place. If I got something, I needed it immediately so that I could immediately start posting about it. And I didn't have the commitment to wait with the shipping issues. So I wasn't able to get Thermophyte X until March, I want to say is when I ordered it. Yeah, March or April is when I ordered it. But when we went to conference back in January, you know, we were sitting in Katie's hotel room, and she like pulled out her Thermophyte X to take it. So I was like, can I see your bottle? And so I went in the bathroom of Katie's hotel room and conference and started taking photos. I took like 6 different pictures, different angles, different things with the Thermophyte X. So I could post a photo of me with the Thermophyte X, even though I never ordered it or tried it, but because I knew the value in showing that I had the product. So if there is a will, there is a way. And guys, like I said, you all got some sort of product in your starter kit. So 1, you got to try it. 2, you have something to post about. Take some photos with that. Another thing is you have got to learn the products. Again, just as you can't only talk so much when you haven't tried it, you can only talk so much when you don't know anything. Like, I know you just got started, but you should still learn the basics. That should be something you self-discipline yourself enough and take the responsibility enough when you get started to go research. I don't think that's something I should ever have to tell someone, is you need to go learn the products. Oh, you're selling them. How are you going to sell something you don't even know what it does? So go read up on the products. On our team pages, we have master lists of scripts. Go read the scripts for every product because that's going to give you a quick synopsis of what it does. So when someone's asking something, you know what the product does. And then when you want to make a post, you know what it does. I'm not going to post about the Thermophyte X and all of this about how blah, 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 unless it actually does that. And I don't know if it actually does that unless I've researched and read up and figured out what it does. So it's so important to learn the products. I flipped my page. And then don't overcomplicate it when you guys are trying to write out your own product post. You don't have to write a novel to tell them that they need to try Thermophyte X. Like, you don't. It's really quick. A lot of the stuff is a lot simpler, is better. You don't want to overcomplicate things because people aren't going to take the time to read it, realistically. With your lifestyle posts, you can do longer sometimes. That's fine. But with the product posts, I try to keep it max like 10 lines. That's it. Because people are not going to commit to reading about this product. If they want information, it's because of the photo. And then you'll have to reiterate whatever you put in your caption anyway. So keep it simple. And then the last thing, one of the most important things in my opinion, one of my favorite things is your story post. I am having so much fun. It's a recent thing I started doing last month was but creating my own story posts, especially the ones that told my story. We all see them. We all go click through the top leaders' stories and be like, oh my gosh, this is so well written. 30 slides later, still talking about them and their journey. And oh my gosh, I wish I could do this. Oh my goodness, their life looks so fun. They've had so much success. And then you know what? 2 weeks later, that same story is up in their stories, but we're still clicking. Oh my gosh, their life is so amazing. So why not make our own? You don't got to be a certain rank to be able to write your own story, guys. So we are going to write our story posts together, okay? So make notes, all right? Your first slide of your story post. Who are you? Let me pull up my most recent because I've just started making these all the time. But who are you? What's your name? Who are you? What rank are you? Should have had this already pulled up. I have most everything pulled up, which is way more organized than I typically am. Okay, so my first slide I've got for this one, it says, "Hey boo, I'm Mariah Newsom. Let me tell you a little bit about me. If any of you know me, I say boo all the time." So that makes it relatable. That's me. And it's got a cute little picture, and that's all it says is my name. And let me tell you about me. So then we go to our next slide. Our second slide, we want to include something about where It Works found us. Where were you when you found network marketing? So for me, my second slide, it says, "1 year ago, I married my best friend. I quickly became exhausted, working a ton and still not making enough money. We knew there had to be more." It's a picture from my wedding. I joined the business like 11 months ago. Was married a few months before that, but this is the idea. We're setting the vision, the moment of where we were, what feelings we had. Next, I always like to mention that this is where I found network marketing. So for example, this one literally says that. And that's where we found network marketing and everything changed. And it's just a picture of me working on my phone. Then your next slide, you want to talk about your success. Again, whether you can pay for groceries now, whether you earned your shopping spree, you got a roll of signing in customers, whether you've hit a promotion, how much your first check was. If you join for $20, guys, I should have said this before, but if you join for $20, you made $60 your first check, you just tripled your investment. They don't have to know how much you invested. They just have to know that your first month, you tripled it. Your second month, you tripled your investment. So that's a really good point too. I joined for $20 back in July, so that was a good thing I used all the time. My first check was $65. So I was like, within 4 days, I tripled my investment. And then the kits were $99. So people are thinking I made a lot more money than I did, but I wasn't lying. I tripled my investment. It's all about wording and the way you present things. So we want to talk about our success. For mine, I caught the vision quick and went Ruby and earned a $1,000 bonus in my first month. We kept up the momentum, and 2 months later went Emerald and earned a $5,000 bonus. Diamond and a $10,000 bonus in January. Double Diamond, 2 months later, we joined the top 1% of the company, earned $25,000 in bonuses, and saw our first $8,000 monthly check. So that was about my successes. Then, what did It Works do for you? So because of It Works, ... Now what? This is more where we're going to talk about pay gas, pay electric bill, bought groceries. And you want to take photos because you can use them here. I have, after retiring, both me and my husband from corporate America and condo hopping, we found, for 2 whole months, we just signed the lease for our own beach house, all by the age of 22. Picture outside our new house. So now that we've done because of our It Works, which can be several things, it doesn't have to be, none of this is like one slide. Make it your own, boo. You put your info in there. This is you. We're just going through a template because I know that was a big thing with me is I was like, I don't even know where to start. So this is a good starting point. So the next, talk about a common objection. For me, I was super simple. I just said I was scared, I was nervous, but I did it anyways. And I had a top, it says 10 months ago I made a decision. Super simple. Common objection, I was scared and nervous. I joined because I knew I deserved more. God's plan has been so much bigger and grander than we ever imagined. So that's still kind of going to that common objection. And then you want to talk about your why. You want to address, again, why you're doing this. What do you hope to get out of it, or what have you gotten out of it? So we went from family and friends giving us food to having enough to share and give back, and posted a picture from the grocery store. And then where are you going? I'll have to skip through because I didn't address that in that one, but I just did another story that has that. But where are you going? Because you always want to show people you have a destination. No one wants to follow a leader who doesn't know where they're leading to. So we've got to show that we are continuing in some direction. So I have coming soon, and now we are going VIP, which is not only an average of $10,000 monthly for me, but means so many girls on my team will also get a huge raise. Just a cute little selfie, nothing big. And last, you always want to end, this goes for your posts as well, you want to end with a call to action. So I have a standard off of Pinterest for this used thing, but now is your time. Pay off debt, travel the world, have a 6-figure savings, grocery shop, worry free, be the healthiest you've ever been, make tons of new friends, write your own schedule, earn a $10,000 bonus with a poll. Super simple. I found that on Pinterest. So it doesn't all have to be this fancy thing. Another good idea for doing your own stories. Oh, I have this on my story today. I forgot. Another thing is to use top leader stories and then just replace the photo. If you don't have the app over, you need to get it. That's how I make all of my stories. But anyway, so yeah, like Cheyenne Knox posted this. I don't have her original post, I just have mine. But it had a picture of her in the middle. But now it has a picture of me because I used the Over app and I put my picture there. I did this one a while ago when I was still figuring out how to make my own story. But it's all the several slides and the words are there, the background's already there, and now it has my face on it. And top leaders post that kind of stuff all the time. So when you're learning, that's a great resource. Instead of sharing their story, just put your face on it, like type over things if you have to, color over it, whatever it is to make it you, but make it you. People are going to relate so much when you talk, when they know your voice, when they know what you stand for, what you care about, than when they know what some top leader making a butt ton of money cares about. They're not joining that top leader, they're joining you. So if they don't know you, there's a problem. They're gonna know when you're not authentic. Your audience will know when you're simply copying and pasting. They'll know this post sounds this way, but this one sounds this way, and that one sounds this way, and there's no continuity because it's not your voice. You're taking 12 voices and trying to mesh it into one and pretend it's your own, and people can recognize that. So even if you start bad, even if you start wrong, it's so important to start making your own posts. It's so important to start because I can guarantee you, if you could scroll 4 years back on Carrie Young's page and see her first posts, they sucked. If you could go 10, 15 years back, well, I mean, I guess social media wasn't there then, but whenever social media came back to Joel and Stephanie Dunn's posts, they sucked. If you go look at Katie's first live, it was awful. And that's okay because everyone starts at start. No one gets in advance. Everyone starts at start. So the importance is to get off here, take those notes, questions, tips, and make something happen with them. I love you guys, and I hope this was super helpful.